Joining me now, Chuck Rocha, former senior advisor to the Bernie Sanders campaign, and Victoria DeFrancesco, assistant dean for civic engagement at the LBJ School of Public Affairs at the University of Texas at Austin. Vicky, we have seen the brazen attacks from the GOP to make it harder to vote. What should we be watching out for in these redistricting fights, especially in states where the GOP controls all aspects of the map drawing process?
They control all aspects, just like you said, Alicia. So what we're seeing is this frustration by the part of Texans, because we know that the bulk of the growth here in Texas, like in most of the country, was fueled by communities of color. Many of these communities of color centered in urban areas. However, what we're seeing is when it comes to voting rights, a lot of the restrictions that are trying to be pushed forward in voting bills are targeting our urban areas that we know had 24-hour voting centers, drive-through voting, stuff like that, that made it easier to vote for populations that we know are lower SES and take advantage of these opportunities for expanded voting. Beyond that, we also know that in the rural areas where you have less voters of color, less Democratic voters, that's where we're going to see some really creative map drawing, Alicia. I've already been hearing that there's prospects of one potential district going from Austin to El Paso. And for those of you who know Texas, that's over 6 hours away. So you're seeing the reaction of the GOP here in Texas is a multifaceted approach, both in terms of bills to try to curtail some of that voting power from that demographic growth, and also through map drawing.
Yeah, I really wish that we had that graphic at the ready so people could understand just how absurd that would look on a map. Chuck, part of the reason I love when you and Vicky are on together is that Vicky looks at these questions as a political scientist and you look at them as a practitioner. So as you are listening to everything that Vicky is saying, what is that telling you as someone who is actually in charge of turning these communities out to vote?
It seems like it's a power grab for a desperate party whose demographic is losing out in Texas, trying to use every play that they can to hang on to power. But to your point, gerrymandering districts like we've seen out through history, or trying to pass laws that makes it harder for folks who aren't voting for them to actually go and vote. Let me be clear. There's already a district that goes from San Antonio all the way to El Paso that takes in all of the border, that takes in pieces of El Paso and pieces of San Antonio. So the gerrymandering's been going on there, going back to when me and Vicky were young enough to be listening to 80s rap. Like, it goes back a long, long way. So this ain't nothing new for Republicans who've been trying to hang on ever since they got rid of Ann Richards.
Chuck, do not age Vicky with you. How dare you? I want to turn Vicky to the census. You have activists who fear that Latinos are undercounted in the new census, partly because of the Trump administration's push to include that citizenship question we've talked so much about. Projected population growth was lower than expected in Arizona, Florida, and Texas. When I say Arizona, Florida, and Texas, all of our ears perk up because those are states with growing Latino populations. Vicky, what are the political consequences if, in fact, these communities were undercounted?
This is so serious, Alicia, and it was the perfect storm, right? So we saw from the outset the Trump administration wanting to include that citizenship question. That got a lot of people in our community scared. I think that probably had a very significant suppressive effect. We also saw, because of the pandemic, a delay in the schedule of getting out the census and then an early end. We saw not enough resources going to get communities of color to answer the census. So all of these things together really pushed that number down. And it matters for the map drawing. I know we've got maps on the mind, but it also matters for the federal dollars that fund hundreds of programs that are funneled through the states. For example, special education, SNAP, Medicaid, highway construction, things that are big deals and that aren't partisan issues, because you have children who are, the sons and daughters of Republicans and Democrats who have special needs and need that funding. Same thing with highways. So this is really such a big issue that we're going to see affect the states, not just in the next electoral round of when the maps are redrawn, but for the next decade.
Right, Chuck, I think a lot of people hear that and they wonder if there's a way to correct it.
You're right. Let me give you some positive news. What Vicky just described is right on paper, and she's exactly right about the dollars not coming to a state because of there's no doubt in my mind, and later on this week, when they put out the graphics on demographics, the counts, it will show the undercount. But guess what? That's one seat in Arizona, one seat in Texas, and one seat in Florida that we should have gotten that will go to another state because of the undercount. Well, Republicans control all branches of government in all three states. If you want to look at the bright side of this, those will go to states like Oregon, in Colorado and in North Carolina, where there's at least a Democratic governor there that may give us some shot at creating districts that are fair and equitable to all Americans.
All right, Chuck and Victoria, thank you both.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.